into and promoting information about the park, and there's no information, absolutely no information that the community doesn't have that we have, and I stand firmly and solidly behind that. We're completely transparent, and we will continue to be as transparent as possible.
This next question, did you finish that question, Jack?
Sir, what did you want to hear, ma'am, sir?
I was just going to ask, I was confused as to how you could break ground in the next year and you're moving office without some kind of more input or discussion with the community itself.
I'll answer. She wants to know. She wants to ensure that there is community input, and I'll just say that's why we have set up this sort of ad hoc committee. Richard, are you on it as well? Matt's on it. So the association is represented. Just you live in the neighborhood. If there are people here, let me put it this way, then you follow on. If there are people here who want to say something to Jeff, I think you want to hear it.
Absolutely. Yeah. Okay. If you want to talk to Jeff afterwards, we'll go ahead and do it. The next question is from I think it's Paul's wife. It says Miss Bunyan, Paul Bunyan. I don't know. Sherman Oaks worked extremely hard raising money and planting trees on Ventura Boulevard. The store owners have been chopping the trees without permits, and although it's against the law, they are never punished. Cars are knocking the trees down, and insurance is paid for the damage, and it's certainly not going back to planting the trees.
Well, it is a problem that we've had over the years, and Joan and Fortuna have been on it as best we can, and I mean, all I can say is that we've tried to educate the merchants. We've tried to get folks to be more enlightened. I think by and large they are. It's heartbreaking. I have to tell Jules how heartbreaking it is when someone does something to one of our trees. You know, if you've got evidence, please come forward and give it to Joan or Fortuna, and we'll try to do our best for you. Well, give them to us.
We have been. We've been doing all of our due diligence, and the problem is that the city has promised for over a year to send out a letter to all the Ventura Boulevard merchants. You can speak to Tamar about it and Ron Lorenzo. It's not for a lack of trying, it's just that we can't seem to get the momentum to get this information from the city into the community. So what's happening is every month that is costing us to lose trees because the merchants are honestly convinced the loss of their business is because of the trees blocking their signs. And given the state of the economy, now we're seeing trees that weren't butchered before being butchered. And Ron Lorenzo, who's head of City Street Trees, says they have the authority if a tree is damaged. And all we need is somebody with some you-know-what to get the letter going, get into the merchants, and start enforcing this law.
Did everybody in the room hear okay. Basically what she's saying is for the last few years, merchants have been, business owners have been butchering the trees. And the Sherman Oaks Beautification Committee has been working with the City Attorney's Office, with Ron Lorenzen, who is the city in charge of the trees. And we've supposedly, they're supposed to send out a letter. Jules and myself have stopped people in the middle of the process that are chopping these trees down. We've taken pictures, we've sent it to the City Attorney's Office, and nothing happens. So the question is, what's going to happen to finally put a stop on this? Speak into the microphone, John.
Yes. Yes, we have worked very hard, the association, also the Sherman Oaks Beautification Committee, and I want you to know that urban forestry is on a 10 to 11 year cycle. We have 750,000 trees in the city of LA, which means they can only trim 75,000 trees a year with the budget that they have to work with. It's still a tremendous amount of trees to trim. So what they did for Sherman Oaks, because they weren't supposed to come back to the business area of Sherman Oaks for another 10 years, because they were just here a few years ago, is they came back a couple of months ago and they trimmed all the trees from Fulton to Sepulveda. And they're coming back and they're starting to do the palm trees. So they're trying to do this to save the businesses from butchering the trees. And Ron Lorenzen needs approval from Bill Robertson, the head of the Bureau of Street Services, for that letter to go out.
Okay, but that's not the question isn't, we know that the city just did that. They just came out a month ago. Last week, in front of Maria's Italian Kitchen, 2 of those trees are completely butchered. In front of the car wash, where the trees were just trimmed a month ago, they took their own initiative to go ahead and, without a permit, go ahead and do this. We have pictures of both of these. The question is not that the city went ahead and did the 10-year plan earlier, but where is the enforcement? Where is these are city-owned trees now. We raised the money, the Sherman Oaks Homeowners Association raised the money. Where is the enforcement? We have pictures, we stopped the people. We've even called the police, Jules and I, and the police have come out and taken their FI cards, taken all the information. The city has not responded the way that any enforcement. These are our trees, the city of Los Angeles' trees, not the homeowners, not Jules's, although Jules thinks they are, which we love you for.
So Jack, that's a city attorney issue for the city attorney.
We'll work on it with you.
Okay. Here's an easier question. Why was there movement, or is there movement on the west side to recall you as a council person?
You know, that's,
Okay. Here's a question from Dan Ackerson. Any plans for making Sherman Oaks more bike friendly? We need more bike lanes closer to Ventura Boulevard, east and west, and bike racks at the Sherman Oaks Galleria.
where is, I mean, we have a bicycle advisory committee that we have in the district and in the city, and we're looking for volunteers to get involved and help us make exactly those plans. So you're a cyclist, I take it?
Yeah, sure. I'll get involved, sure.
We'd love to have you involved. Connect with Joan. We've got. I mean, I'll tell you, this is it's a highly self-selecting group of people who are involved in this. But if you're motivated and interested, we could use some folks from the valley. I mean, when I cycle on the weekends, sometimes I don't ride during the week, but I do ride during the weekend. Not the way Wayne does. Where's Wayne? If you want bike tips in the valley, ask Wayne Williams.
It's not just so much a recreational thing, it's everybody trying to cut back on driving and the congestion. Bikes are becoming a necessity to get around. So I think it's important that we get bike lanes for people to go to and from work.
Well, and then we need your input, because it is a hard thing to do in terms of the urban grid. But you know, there have been places where it's been done successfully. The Orange Line is, you know, a great example of that. We have a lot of interest from other folks on the council in trying to increase the bikeability of the city. Some pilot projects being thought about in different parts of town. And so if you want to participate in that from Sherman Oaks, we'd love to have your input.
Okay, and this is from Bruce Darian. What's going to happen to the Sportsman's Lodge with the new owners?
You know, that's a District 2 issue, and I know you're very lucky that Wendy Gruhl is the council member for District 2, and I'm sure she's going to do a great job in making that decision.
Thank you. With that, we'd like to, number one, remind everyone the third Wednesday of January, Chuck Betts wants you to please clean up. And please come forward if you have individual questions for the councilman, and we appreciate his attendance tonight.